North Korea is one of the most closed-off countries in the world, having been ruled by the Kim dynasty for over 70 years. And as we know, any kind of secrecy only fuels the desire to uncover the truth. One of the aspects of North Korean life that sparks lively interest among many is what the people of the DPRK use to get around, and whether they have their own automotive industry. Let's say it right away, they do, and it's actually developing quite well. But it has its own unique characteristics. As is well known, in North Korea's class-based society, a car is not just a means of transportation, a commodity, or a product you can buy at a dealership with money. A car has become part of a motivational reward that the country's top leadership grants for merits to the party. That's why ordinary North Koreans mostly get around by public transport, ride bicycles or scooters, or simply walk. In the provinces, regular trucks with wooden benches installed in the back often serve as public transportation. As for the automotive industry itself, its origins date back to 1950. That's when the first automobile factory was built in the city of Tanjayan. Due to war and economic difficulties, production there only began in 1958. The first vehicle assembled at this plant was the Sangri 58 flatbed truck, which was a copy of the Soviet Gazan GZ51. 3 years later, the all-wheel drive version Sangri 61 was released, which was the equivalent of the Soviet GZ63. These trucks are still being produced in North Korea. Over the many years of production, the vehicles have undergone some modifications and now feature their own redesigned cab. As for the technical foundation of the truck, it differs little from Soviet designs that are 80 years old. Over time, due to the shortage of gasoline in the country, most of these trucks were equipped with gas generator units that ran on charcoal. In Pyongyang or other large cities, this kind of transport is now almost never seen. But in small settlements in the provinces, you can still come across them quite often. You can spot them from afar, belching thick clouds of smoke above them, which can make it seem like a steam locomotive is coming your way. In the 1990s, when North Korea was going through a severe fuel crisis, these kinds of trucks were used everywhere, especially in the military and agriculture. The factory in Dongmyeon produced not only trucks, but also copies of the Soviet Pobeda cars under the name Achimkoy, meaning morning flower. On the streets of North Korean cities, you can spot these cars alongside original Voldas imported from the USSR. Another factory closely associated with the production of Soviet car copies is located in the city of Gyeongsang. In 1968, they began manufacturing an analog of the GZ69 off-road vehicle here, called the Gyeongsang 68NA. Throughout all the years of production, various modifications of this vehicle were released. For example, a cargo version was built based on it. And in 1985, the Gyeongsang 85 model appeared with a new canvas-top body, which somewhat resembled the Soviet UAZ. In the 1970s, the factory in Gyeongsang began producing Piktusan passenger sedans. The car had sharp, straight lines in its design and looked similar to the GZ24 Volga. Although its technical foundation was borrowed from the 21st Volga or even from the Pobeda. Trucks called Tapeksan were also produced in Gyeongsang. They looked like rough copies of the ZIL-130, although there is no information about the purchase of Soviet licenses. In North Korea, they copy not only the USSR's automotive industry, but also those of leading Western countries. In the 1980s, the plant in Gyeongsang copied the Mercedes-Benz 190E. A similar car, which was named Gyeongsang 88, was supposed to become the official vehicle for mid-level party and military officials. As for its resemblance to the Mercedes, it was only on the outside. There was not a trace left of the luxury features typical of all Mercedes cars. There was no climate control or power steering. And to top it off, even the side windows couldn't be rolled down. The Gyeongsang Mercedes was recognized as a failed copy and never went into production. In 1998, one of North Korea's newest and largest automobile factories was built in the city of Nampo. It was named Pyongyang, which translates as peace. The company's logo, perfectly illustrating its name, featured two doves of peace facing each other. The first car produced at the new factory was the Fiat Siena, which was part of the Fiat 178 World Car project, Fiat's attempt to manufacture cars all over the world. Production at the Nampo plant began on April 20th, 2002. The first Fiat cars were assembled from ready-made kits imported from Vietnam. Later, the company came up with its own names for different types of cars. Mid-range and low-end cars were called Whipperam, which translates from Korean as whistle. Luxury sedans were given the name Zunma, meaning horse. Small commercial vehicles and SUVs were called Piakudi, or Cuckoo. They even produced minibuses under the name Samchanri. But in reality, the Whipperam is a Fiat Siena, a small four-seater sedan measuring 4 meters and 10 centimeters in length, which was available with either a 1.2-liter or 1.6-liter gasoline engine. Production of the Whipperam 1 ended in 2005. In total, only 500 cars were built during this time. In 2003, another Fiat model was introduced, a small van, the Fiat Doblo, which was named Pocket GI1. The Doblo was less popular than a Siena, and after a small limited production run in 2003 and 2004, the van was discontinued. Overall, Fiat's products were expensive to manufacture and brought in only modest profits. Therefore, the decision was made to end the partnership with Fiat and shift focus to the Chinese automotive market. Thanks to its connections in Dandong, the Moon Church managed to strike a deal with the Chinese automaker Shibuan, which was later renamed Hyundai, for the licensed production of this company's SUVs and pickups. In March 2004, the first of these vehicles rolled off the Namfo assembly line. It was a 5-meter-long Shiguang SUV with a 4x2 wheel configuration. In North Korea, it was named the Pocket GI2. Production of the SUV continued until 2006. In April 2004, the model lineup was expanded with the Pocket GI3, a double-cab pickup truck based on the SUV. That same year, an all-wheel drive SUV was also assembled, which is why it was given the corresponding name, Pocket GI 4-wheel drive. Production of this model ended in 2007. In the following years, Pianhua released several more pickup trucks. The Diesel Premio DX, which was intended only for the Vietnamese market. Later on, the company from Namfo focused on producing small sedans. The first model was the already familiar whistle, but this time it was called Whipperam 2. This time, it wasn't a Fiat, but a Brilliance BS4 from the Chinese company Brilliance, based in Shenyang. In 2010, this model was joined by the famous Whipperam 3 version, which later became known as the Whipperam 1405. And in its original form, this is the Brilliance BS2 model, a 5-seater sedan designed by the Italian company Italian Design Giugiaro. These cars can quite often be seen working as taxis in Pyongyang. Since 2005, the North Korean company Pianhua also began producing the 9-seater Sanchori minibus, which was a licensed copy of the Toyota Hiace. These minibuses are quite popular in the DPRK and can be found in many cities. Trying to attract the attention of the country's top military and political leadership, Pianhua decided to start producing its own luxury class cars. Knowing that the top officials prefer Mercedes, the people in Nampo decided not to buy Mercedes cars in Germany and resell them in Pyongyang, but instead to start producing a luxurious North Korean sedan, the Sanyong JIL Men, which was essentially a copy of the Mercedes E-Class W124. The finished model, which was named Zunma, meaning horse in translation, was presented to the top leadership of the Workers' Party of Korea. This car didn't really spark much interest among that audience. The original Mercedes cars were still better, after all. Still, a small number of these cars would be assembled in 2005 and 2006. In 2018, at the 16th Pyongyang Spring International Trade Fair, the company surprised everyone with new Pianhua models. A more detailed study of these cars confirmed that all of them were assembled in China, and in North Korea they were simply rebranded and fitted with Pianhua badges. Most of these cars were produced by the Chinese company First Auto Works from Changchun, or by their joint venture with Volkswagen. As for the North Korean leadership, most lower and mid-level party officials mainly get around in imported cars of various years of manufacture. For example, you can still find Volvo 144 sedans here, which were imported from Sweden back in 1973 in a batch of 1,000 units. The cars were bought on credit, which North Korea still hasn't paid off. In addition, you can see a large number of Japanese cars of various years on the streets of North Korean cities, including quite modern Lexuses. Prestigious cars from expensive automotive brands still make their way into North Korea despite bans and sanctions. For example, North Korea's leader, dictator Kim Jong-un, prefers luxury Mercedes cars. He owns several Mercedes-Benz S-Class limousines in the W220 and W221 body styles. Kim's car fleet consists of about 800 vehicles in total. Among them is a Mercedes-Maybach S600 Pullman Guard, an armored limousine that often draws attention because of the large number of bodyguards running alongside the car when Kim is inside. Another star of the car fleet is the luxurious Rolls-Royce Phantom, which Kim used to arrive at a meeting with former US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in Pyongyang. Today, North Korea's automotive industry produces about 40,000 cars per year. But this number includes not only passenger cars, but also other types of vehicles, including trucks, buses, trolley buses, and trams.